Happy Black History Month. Today is February 1st. Cotton candy chapstick. I had a thought for every look I do this month to use a black lipstick in honor of Black History Month, even if I top it with a gloss. And I had forgot that I had that thought until just now because I pulled out this lip. So we're going to put that back and we're going to pull out a black lipstick. Again, we may top it, we may not, but that's what I'm doing for Black History Month, wearing a black lipstick for the looks that I do. On my face, I have a bunch of stuff. I'll tell you about that later. We're going to prime the eye and do the intro. We are going to be using the Jolina palette. I believe this is look number 4 that we're doing with this palette. I love it. And this is the reason I didn't get the Midnight Serenade palette, because that looked like a softer version of this one. And so that's why I didn't get that one, because the color stories to me do look like they're related. And the POA for Lethal Shadows is 24 months. And so I still have at least another year for this palette. So I wasn't too enticed to get the other one, but who knows? Time will tell. So we're going to use the Fenty eyeshadow primer. If this is your first time here, hello and welcome. I see you, my new subscribers, and I appreciate you. If this is your first video of mine that you're watching, welcome to the Crazy Troll Nation. You're probably like, what is that? I'm going to tell you. The crazy part, because I am a little off, but also the crazy part, just knowing when you do videos, if you do videos, that it's okay to be your authentic self, not trying to be something other than who you are. Just letting your personality shine through, not caring too much what people may think. Well, will they like me? You know, they might not, like my personality. You like your personality. You know what I'm saying? Just be confident in being yourself. The troll part is not caring too much about the beauty community standards. As you're watching beauty related content, try not to feel like you need to use a certain brand or a certain tool or a certain technique. Wear wherever you want to, however you want to, using whatever tools you want to. I know I said whatever kind of slur because I'm getting excited. Using whatever tools you want to get your makeup on in a way that you are satisfied with it. You set the standard for yourself. The bottom line here at the Crazy Troll Nation is self-acceptance and self-love. Embracing your natural features, enhancing them if you want to, when you want to, but never feeling like you have to. Love yourself for who you are and for how you look, even without face paint on. That's what we stand for here. So if they want to say we're crazy because we accept who we are, if they want to say we're a troll because we don't do our makeup the way they do, we'll be a troll, and we'll be a fine troll. So, I also need to let you know, aside from that, I stammer and stutter sometimes, and I randomly gurgle, belch, and hiccup in my videos, completely unintentional. My throat has its own life, like it's not even a part of my body, it's its own entity. But I need to let you know, like, seriously, I do curse sometimes on my channel because I curse sometimes, period. So it goes back to just being who you are. So I'm excited about this video. I meant to do one eye on and one eye off filming, but now I went and primed both my eyes, and so that means I'm gonna have to do a lot of editing. This primer, it dries, and when it dries, it dries. But maybe I could still, because what happens is, because for me the Fenty primer is a tacky primer, and you see I have hooded lids and they're puffy. Like all of this is just, I call this the puff. What happens is this puff part starts to stick to this part, and when I blink, I can feel it like prying open. And so that's why if I'm doing one eye on and one eye off filming, I only prime one eye at a time, because it is just a weird feeling. So we're just going to do both eyes, and we're doing multiple palettes, multiple looks. You see from the title, so that's why I wanted to try and cut down on time. I don't have written out what we're doing. Oh, brushes. We're using Hourglass number 3 brushes. It's just a shader brush. It's dense, but it's really soft. It picks up and lays down shadow really well. We're also going to be using, excuse me, told you already, excuse me, Hourglass number 6 brushes. These are their blending brushes, just a typical blending brush. Not quite tapered, but not quite blunt either. And for eyeliner, I have out the MAC 210 brush, very thin. I really like it. Lower lash line, I missed the brush. We're going to use Blend Bunny, the B2 brush, just a small, and actually this is supposed to be like a crease brush, I think, but I use it for lower lash line, so it's really small. People that have small eyes really like this brush because it does get into the crease, but I don't do my eyeshadow the typical way, and so I use this for lower lash line. So it's just sort of like a rounded, domed, short bristle brush. I think I'm going to start doing that instead of always just saying the name of the brush, because it's not about that brush but just the type of brush, if you're curious about what I'm using and why. And so I do think the type of brush is important. I also go on tangents sometimes. That's what that just was, because we were about to do the look and then I went off about the brushes. We're going to take, yes I do be going off on tangents. We're going to tap this and we're going to put this here. This shade for me, as you see, is a There Not There. This shadow, it blends into my complexion, adds a little bit of shine. I do believe we're putting 4 shadows on the lid today. I'll be doing the most. Darn it, I was going to do one on and one off. Let me just try to do this quickly. I may alter the number of looks I'm going to do for this video because I don't want it to be like an hour long, which my multiple look videos are, unless I do like a ton of editing, which I haven't been doing lately. We're going to put that down and take a clean one. And now we're going to take fuck me eyes. And they did take the U out of the word, but we know what they're saying. We know what they're saying. And this is going to go next to this shade. I like this palette because it's grungy. Like, you see it already. I didn't even get far. And we got some kind of swamp water going on. Which, this is where the first shade is, and then we're pulling over. So that's how we're getting our blend. Sometimes I will just go back and forth where the 2 shades meet just to get that blend going between those 2 shades. And now we're going to do the other eye. If I keep moving quick like this, we may be able to get this done. Well, we're already at 7 minutes because I went on that tangent about brushes. So we're going to the first shade and pulling over, and we're also going to go back and forth in between. I keep thinking to do a blending video. Some of my videos, blending is kind of busted, but then other videos, people are like, oh, your blending is amazing. And some people do struggle with blending, and so we're taking the tip of the brush, not adding shadow on it because you see it's still shadow in it, and we're just going back and forth up top. So that's going to help give us a blend up here without using another shadow to blend it out. I typically don't use a different shadow to blend out a previous shadow. I just use what's in the brush and just blend it, and you see that it is blended. So we're going to put that brush down, and now we're going to go into Narcissus. This shade here, this one is a dual chrome, typical shift. Excuse me for poking you in the face with the brush. So it's like a green. This part looks kind of brownish grayish, and then you have like a there was a red in here somewhere, but this is one of those typical green, red, brown shifts. This palette, they don't sell it anymore. It is an older palette from their line. But at the time, this was, I guess it was the shift at the time, because other palettes I have that came out around the time this one initially came out, quite a few palettes have this shift in it. So at the time it was popular, that's the word. It used to be a popular shift, but now it's like a dime a dozen for this particular shift. And so you see how right here you see the green, and then when you turn, you see some burgundy-ish, like right here in this area. You see what I'm saying? So I do like this shade. I don't like dupes in my collection, but I don't mind that I do have this in like 3 different palettes, at least maybe 4, including this one. So you see how even next to this one, it blends out nicely. And so you see the red up here, and then when I raise my brows, you see the green. So it is that basic old burgundy green shift, basic these days. But this is what we have. We're going to take the tip of the brush and we're going to come up here. And I did have a shadow to put up here. Actually, 2 different shadows. One for actual transition, which is here, and one for brow. But because I'm taking my shadows, my lid shades up so high, we may not need that other shadow. We're going to take Surgery. This is the first matte that we're using. We're going to put this on the outer corner. So look how, and it just brings out the burgundy-ish in that 3rd shade that we used. And so we're just putting this here, the top of the brush, the tip of the brush, we're just buffing here. This is like red. I didn't realize it was like so red. Okay. I like it. I'm tapping in lightly, tapping off. And we're just pulling that inward. This, y'all, wow. And so we're using the top of the brush and just going back and forth up here to bring it up a little higher to the brow. So this could just really be your look. So we're going to do the same thing on this side. And we're going to blend in between. So all of these shades, as you see, work really well together. I've really enjoyed this palette. I don't know why I've only used it 3 times before, this being the 4th look, and I think just using other stuff that I have in my collection. I do try to use things in rotation, and so it takes a while sometimes to get back to something, but I came down too far right here, but we will fix that later. This side is perfect for now, but we'll probably mess that up later too. Another thing here, even though I want my makeup to look nice, I'm not like, oh my gosh, it has to be absolute perfection all the time, because life isn't that way. However things turn out, you just do the best you can and just hopefully get a look that I can be like, wow, this is really nice. Or I could be like, yeah, this is all right. You know, being honest with myself. And it's all relative, because if I think it's bomb, you can say what you want is bomb. If I say it's busted, you might be like, well, it's not so bad. And then there are times when I do eyeshadow looks and I'm just like, I'm not really digging it. But then as the day goes on, you know, when I catch myself in the mirror, I'm like, you know what? This look isn't so bad. So sometimes stuff does grow on me even when I don't like it initially. And at the end of my videos, if you're new here, or at the end of the look, I will say what I like about the look and what I don't. And sometimes that opinion changes. And so I do that though, just to let you know, it's okay if we're not like, oh my gosh, this is the best thing ever, like all the time, you know. I was going to take, we're still going to do it, Wonderland. And this is mustard in person. I don't know how to get it to where you see what I see, because it's looking very yellow on your end, but this is mustard. I was going to put this in transition, and then I was going to take this shade here, which is Scandal, under my brow. But you know what? We're not going to do that. So we're going to put this brush away, and we're just going to take Scandal, this shade here, and I probably need a smaller brush. But anyway, we're going to go straight in, and we're going to swirl it a little bit, and we're going to tap off, and we're going to just tap it under the brow. And because we did blending for the lid shades using the brush that we use for each particular shade, I don't need to necessarily blend up here, just place it. But out of habit, and because sometimes it looks stark, I will just kind of feather and go back and forth. But I don't, like this side to me doesn't even look like it needs to be blended. This side looks more harsh to me for some reason. I think maybe I just came down too far or had too much on the brush. I don't know. But this is the look. Yeah, this side is much brighter. I'm like, why? Why are you brighter? We're going to go back with the brush that had the first shadow on it. And we're just going to press and wiggle right here. So we're just bringing it up a little bit more. Now we're going to go to the brush that had that green on it, not adding shadow. We're going to buff up here. So what I'm trying to do is decrease how light this looks, bringing the lid shades up a little bit higher. I think they're pretty much even, but because my brows are not even, I think that this might work just to tone down at least the bottom edge of that shade we put under our brow. Now we're going to go to the brush that had that third shade on it, the dual chrome, and we're going to do the same thing. We're just going to take the tip and just lightly go back and forth at the top of that line. This is working. Now we're going to go to the brush that had the red, not adding more shadow, and we're going to do the same thing, just back and forth really lightly. And you know what? This did what I wanted it to do. This did what I wanted it to do. And so now we're going to, I didn't know, I know I kind of switched sentences. Ow, oh, lower lash line. We're going to take this purple, and I think this is going to be light. So maybe Cold Brew. We're going to do what we started to do, the purple. This is going to be light, and I'm going to be like, yeah, I should have did the purple. And we're going to just run this along our lower lash line. Lower lash line and my upper and lower inner rims. We have on NYX retractable eyeliner, and the shade is Deep Purple. And so we're putting this on top of this on the lower lash line. And so that's just going to go right here. And we're going to go back and forth. And so I am putting in and swirling the brush, tapping it off, and we're just going to run this under here. Going back in, doing the same thing, place and swirl, and bring this under here and into the corner. I do have some flakes, but I don't know what the flakes are from because they look black and I don't have one in black. So this is the brush we use for our powders. I'm not even going to tell you everything on my face because that'll probably take up like 3 minutes because I have a lot on the face, and because we're going to be doing multiple looks, it may not even matter much. So this is what we got. I had out a red for upper lash line and a purple, but we're going to do the purple because we have the purple underneath. This is MAC's Fluid Line and Macro Violet. We're going to put that on. We're going to put on Hella Thick Fenty Mascara, and we're going to put on this black lip. And I may top it with something, not sure yet. So when we come back, everything will be done. I'm envisioning a little sequined red dress devil on my shoulder. If you know, you know. So we did put the liner on up top, and I ran a line under my brow, and then it was uneven, so then I went back with the shade we did for brow. So that's why this looks a little brighter. So the little red dress wearing sequin devil on my shoulder is saying go for it. So we're taking the liner and we're going to put it in our brow. And this is a Scott Barnes brush number 60. I don't think they're around anymore. There's a lot of links down below, and I just thought about saying that because I do have another Scott Barnes among bunches of other things in my Macari store if you're interested in that. So we're just taking this and running it through our brows. I don't have any brow hair from here to here, so that may not be important, but this is a safe color because it's not like POW compared to my natural brow color with the brow pencil on it. So we're just tapping in. So yes, I'm doing it, and once I get comfortable doing this, I will be venturing into different colors because I have a lot of potted gel liner colors. But for right now, this is what we're doing, and I think it looks good. Not noticeable in person. Yeah, you can see. You can see it's purple, but it's not bright or like what the hell. You know what I'm saying? So this is what we did, and I'm excited that I'm doing it. So thank you, Janessa, for that comment. And someone co-signed on that comment. And so we just did the damn thing. And so I am excited, trying something new, and I do encourage you guys to try something new. So we're going to put on the Hella Thick Mascara, and we're going to do the lip, and then we will be back. This is our finished look, and I am hella excited about it. I love this look. I'm not going to top the lip, and I could top it with anything, even if I wanted to tap this shadow on top of it. And I thought about putting Like in Your Style. Excuse me, I'm Liking Your Style. This is from Notoriously Morbid. I think that will look nice on it. It'll just make it a little more shiny. Do we want to do that? We're going to go ahead and do that. I like this look. I love a black lip. This is also a liquid lipstick. It's thinner than other liquid lipsticks I've had and that I do have. And I do actually like that because it does enhance. The shift is enhanced when you put it over a dark lipstick, and also because it is a thinner formula, it doesn't feel thick. Oh, I think this plays off the eye look. I'm glad we did the brows. So thank you, my official troll Ken, for encouraging me to do that. Hang tight. Well, let me see what I like about the look. I like everything about the look. I like the eyeshadows. I like how everything blends together. You saw everything was really super easy to do. This side, I did manage to go straight. This side, I did the accidental swoosh. I'm working on that. I don't like that you really can't see the purple across my mobile lid. You can only see the purple liner out here, but that is okay. I'm loving the lip. I love the eye look. I'm glad we did this. Hang tight and you will see me for another look with another lethal palette. Today is February 2nd. We're starting with Vanilla Mint Chapstick. I meant to do one eye at a time, but I forgot and primed both eyes. And so that means I will be editing. Poor me, my life is so hard. Berlin 89 Lethal Cosmetics palette. This will be look number 4. with this palette. We're going to be using Esom V27 brushes, flat shader brushes, and also Hourglass number 3 flat shader brushes, but they're wider than the Esom. We're going to be using Hourglass number 6, a blending brush, and also a Scott Barnes blending brush. The Scott Barnes is more tapered. This is not quite blunt, but it's not as tapered as some other blending brushes. We're also going to be using more Esom brushes. We're going to be using the V31, which is a domed pencil brush for detail work, and an Esom V09, which is just a short, thin pencil brush. And we're also going to be using Makeup Forever number 210. They don't make it anymore, just a short, stubby smudger brush, and the MAC 210 eyeliner brush. So that's everything we're going to be using. Let's jump into this palette. We're going to be taking Reunion on the first quarter of our lid. So we're going to put this here. The thing with editing out one eye is that it's only a few seconds, but those few seconds like do add up into minutes. And so when I'm editing, I have to like really sit and just watch so I don't do too much. We're taking Breakthrough, that typical burgundy green shift, this one right here, and that's going to go on the second quarter of our lid. So that's going to go right here next to that first shade, and we're going to go to the yellow and pull over, and that's what's going to help us get our blend. And we're also just going to go back and forth where the two meet. We're going in with Sputnik, this shade here, and that's going to go on the third quarter of the lid. Oh, this is a punchy shade, so we have to be careful with this one. We're going to sweep in between to blend this into Breakthrough. We're going to go into East and West, and this is going to go on the outer portion of the lid. I love this palette, y'all. This is grungy. I like it. And you can go goth with it. And I did do an ethereal look with it as a collab. We were doing each other's aesthetic, and I was surprised that I got an ethereal look out of this palette. So yeah, we did the thing, and it turned out really nice. We're blending in between, well, not in between, but where the two shades meet. We're going to take Zone, and that's going to go on the outer corner. So we're just going to see what's going to happen. So putting a blue over the black, we're going to do an outer V. So we're coming straight down and then straight in, and we're also going to let this travel a little bit, if it will, into the outer portion of the transition. So that's what we're doing with this shade. We're going to take Prefab, this gray here, and we're going to tap in with the tapered blending brush, and we're going to put that on the line on the first half of the transition area. Oh, I like that. Oh, you know what? Prefab was supposed to go for brow bone, and Checkpoint was supposed to be for inner transition shade. But you know what? I'm loving this how it is, and so we're going to leave it. And also looking at how the look turned out, poking myself in the eye. Almost. This would have blended in with the lid shades, and so I'm glad we messed up and did what we did, and I am seriously digging it. So let me figure out what I'm supposed to be doing next. Transit this shade here on our tear duct area, and only on the tear duct area, so just right here, and that will be it. We're going to take Zone, and that's also going to go on our lower lash line, and we're going to press it as close to the lower lash line as we can get. We're going to take the brush that had Prefab on it, this shade here. We're not adding any more shadow on there. We're just going to blend underneath. We're going to put on mascara, and we're going to use Inglot number 86. Oh, almost dropped the lid on our upper lash line. And we're going to do a black lip because we're doing all black lips for every look this month for Black History Month. And we will come back with the finished look. This is our finished look, and what I think I want to do is, we did do the Hella Thick Fenty mascara. We did put on the eyeliner, upper lash line we said we were going to do. For our black lip, we used number 28 Nightbird, and this is from the Sephora collection. It is called Cream Lip Stain Liquid Lipstick. And what I want to do is I want to top it with Transit, and it's going to brighten it up. So this is how you can brighten up, or if a black lip is too much for you. So we're going to, oh gosh, tap this on. Oh, look at that. This is looking like I've did this before. Like, it looks familiar. And this is why Some eyeshadows will say they're not lip safe because they do know some people do put eyeshadow on their lips. And you can even do this over a gloss too. It doesn't have to be a liquid lipstick. And so you see how it is like a pinky purple, this inner corner tear duct shade that we used. So this is our finished look. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love everything about it. I'm glad we made the mistake and put prefab on the first half of the transition. I think it you know, goes nicely with the blue over here that we dragged over and putting down the black. It did soften it a little bit, putting the blue over it. The green liner is good. I went out a little further, but it's not an accidental swoosh. It is just coming straight, but I went too far. So anyway, I love the look. Let me know what you think. If you have Berlin 89, it is not a new palette at all from Lethal Cosmetics. I don't even think they make it anymore, but I love it. It's smaller than their newer palettes. Even like Night Flower, Metamorphosis is smaller than that, but you still got 12 shades. And look at these colors. If you like smoky, you like grungy, you like doing goth looks or even vampy, Lethal got you. So hang tight and you'll see me in a few moments with a look from another Lethal palette. Okay, so I was filming, or thought I was, and then I wasn't. We put on Cake Batter Chapstick, inner rims and lower lash line, matte color excess, Pool Shark gel pencil eyeliner. Both eyes are tearing at the corners. I started to prime this eye because I am going to just do one on and one off, and I had a feeling that, and it started drying when I turned on my recording device again, because I had a feeling if I waited, well, if I primed my eye first, I would have forgotten to do them both at the same time. So this is feeling different because it started to dry. So we're using Theresa's Lethal. This is the fourth look with this palette, and this says "Don't Look Up." And this is the front of the palette. Did I just show you that? I don't even remember. And so we're thinking this one, maybe this for tear duct, and maybe this to buff out for brow bone, but we're going to see. So hopefully, excuse me, let me slow down. I feel like I'm rushing because I want to hurry up and get this eye done so then I can edit out the other eye. So anyway, we're going to take Dust Buster. It is not. What is wrong with me? Why am I thinking of a Dust Buster? This is Space Duster. I don't even know where that came from. Dust Buster. So this is going to go, yo, I don't know what's happening. This is going to go on the innermost and outermost corners. And so we're going to do that halo thingy, spotlight thingy that we did with the skewers. And because I was looking at this, like, I do want to use more colors. I want it to be fun. It's going to be different because look at the color story. This is really super bright. So I'm just excited to see like how this turns out. And we are using, hopefully I don't mix up the brushes. I'm usually good about not mixing up the brushes. Now we're going to take, not Dust Buster, Specimen 3, this shade down here. I don't know. And I'm looking at this like they set it up for you because this can be a look, the top row, this can be a look, and this can be a look. And I just now noticed that when I was looking at it. Or just do a matte look. Because I thought about doing a matte look with these four. And then I'm like, no, let's do something else. So this is going to go inside that first shade, the non-Dust Buster shade. I don't know where that came from. Dust Buster. So this is going to go here. And I needed to not bring it in so far because we have another shade we're going to put here before we put the spotlight shade. I noticed sometimes I've been missing the crease, like right here in the crease. And I do know it's just me, just like, because when I go like this, the crease is covered. And so just swiping it, it doesn't go in the crease. I have to like raise my brow. And even sometimes if I don't tilt my head far enough, it's still, the puff still covers the crease. And so I realized looking at my videos, I need to make sure I'm getting actually in the crease and also down near the lash line, which usually isn't a problem by the time I put liner on. But this is what we're looking like so far. You can see the differences in color. It is a really nice Soft Gradient. Y'all, I'm thinking, I don't know if you've seen it yet, because I did an early access for a Lethal versus Pat McGrath quad look, and I'm still just like, wow. And it's making me question my life choices because I made my first Macari purchase, and it's a Pat McGrath Blitz quad. And I'm just like, what? I know, I've been selling on Macari now for a couple years, and I just made like my first purchase. I think this was my first. If not, it was just my second. Because I'm skittish about used makeup as much as I still use makeup, but because I know me, you know what I'm saying? And I know how I keep my stuff, and, you know, no pets, no kids, no smoke, that type of thing. Now we're going to take Plutonian, this shade here, and oh God, these lethal shades. And we're just going to put this just a little bit because we don't have much more space. But I'm excited with how, and I could just go all the way over and still just put the strip on the top of this shade because we're going to use a sparkly shade. We're going to blend lightly where the shades meet, doing some overlapping. I'm excited with this. And another thing with this shade is a lot darker than this, but I am just going lightly, and we're using a fluffy shader brush. And so that plays a role in how the shadows look as well versus a dense shader brush. And so this is what we have so far. What I was starting to say was doing one eye on and one eye off, I see less of the bigger picture. You know what I'm saying? And I like seeing the bigger picture. So, but we're going to see how this works out because the gradient is nice and the blend between the shadows is nice. Now we're going to take this brush. These were Fenty number 230 brushes, fluffy shader brushes. It actually says blending on it, but because it's the shape it is, I use it for shader, as you see, but you can use it, turn it sideways and blend this way, but I don't really often do that. And this is the Esom V27 brush. And we're going to take, at first I thought to take this one, and then I'm like, you know what, let's keep it in the family. So we're going to come down to this one. This is Space Trash. And so we're going to swipe in here. What is this going to look like? And we're just going to come straight down. And I do think we could, that we still could have done this one because it does match the purple, but then so does the blue. This is pretty. Wow. This is nice. Y'all, I'm surprising myself. Excuse me. Troll. Excuse me, y'all. That was a loud one. Usually my hiccups lately been like kind of quiet or internal, and I'm just kind of like, excuse me. And you guys are like, why is she moving like that? Because it's like an internal hiccup. But that one was like, we want to be heard. This is pretty. And another thing doing one eye on and one eye off is like, I don't have that same motion. Like I have to really pay attention and focus and concentrate on like what I'm doing. And I have to do a lot of looking back and forth. Like, is it looking the same? Y'all, this is pretty. Oh, I do think this might be too much up top. What we're going to do right now, y'all, I don't like doing one eye off and one eye on. We're going to take this brush. This is a domed, whatever, pencil brush type thing. Not even a pencil brush, but just a domed detail brush. And this is a Esom V31. And so we're just going to just do this right here. And we're going to blend that over here. So we're just blending to bring them higher up without adding more shadow. And why am I holding this like y'all can see it and you can't? And so we're doing this. We're not blending over the center shade. I just want to bring this up, but I don't really want to add more shadow. I think it looks better. Like, I don't know. Yeah, I was going to go back. When I went like this, I was going to pick up the brush that had this shade or this one. And like just press up here, like how sometimes I'll take the brush and just press to add shadow, but I don't really want to add more shadow. I think this is okay. Excuse me for smacking. Did you know, if you sell on Macari, did you know that buyers can bundle your items and just buy them? I received a notice today and it says so-and-so's bundle. And it showed the Hourglass brush, and it said $124 and some change. And I'm like, wait a minute, that brush, I didn't price it high. Like, wait a minute, is this like a joke, or, you know, did somebody hack my Macari or whatever? And then it says something, something bundle, but I thought that was their channel name. It turned out they bundled 7 of my items. and paid for it. And so it just gives you the one price. And I thought, you know what? I never knew that they can even do that, that buyers can even do that, but it does save on shipping. And then it turned out that she wanted to purchase another palette, and so she had canceled. We're going to take Venus Envy. I was going to say Penis Envy. We're going to take Venus Envy. We're going to put this on our lower lash line. And I had packed it up, and I was still up at like 9 in the morning. I had not went to sleep. I'm nocturnal if you're new here. And so I thought I'll drop it off at the post office. And I said, you know what? No, because it's rush hour. People going to work. I don't want to deal with traffic. I'll just go ahead and go to sleep. And I do wake up every 90 minutes or so. And I saw that she had canceled, she requested to cancel the purchase. And I'm just like, they're playing games with me. But it turned out that, so I told her I did package it up, but I can cancel it. Because she had also sent me a message, so she was very communicative. She said she wanted that other palette, and if she can bundle it in with this stuff, she wanted to pay for shipping. And so I told her I can, I told her I would just repackage it and cancel her order. And when she added the other one, then I would just, add it into the box. And she's like, oh, no problem. I'll just buy it later. And I'm like, well, it's really not a hassle, because it really wasn't. Just open the box and put it in there. And I had so much bubble wrap in the box. This is Terry right here. I had so much bubble wrap in the box that just adding another palette wouldn't have mattered. And I said, I have a box cutter, so I'll just cut the tape open and just, do that. So she was appreciative of that. So that got done. So instead of 7 items, she purchased 8. And I did take it to the post office today. So we're gonna, and I like doing the one eye on because I get to talk to you. And so now I'm going to be quiet, and we're going to edit out doing everything over here. We're going to do this on the upper lash line. This is Face from Lethal. Okay, I was going to say Notoriously Morbid, but this is from Lethal, so that's good because we're using the Lethal palette. And we're going to put on the Hella Thick Fenty Mascara. I'm sweating. We're going to do a black lip. What we're going to top it with, though, I don't know. And if we do inner corner, let me just do that now. But you know what? This inner corner is tearing, so I don't know. We're going to put this on the... Is that going to mess up the grunge part? I'm not going to put that there because this right here is wet, and I put shadow here twice, and the gel liner, the pencil liner wore off, and the shadow came off. So we're not even going to do inner corner unless we do it later because it's just going to come off. So we're going to do everything that we said we're going to do, and then we're going to come back with the finished look. This is our finished look. I didn't do wings because both eyes are still tearing on the outer corner. I don't know why, but let me know, is it me? But this side looks darker. The outer corner and the inner corner to me looks darker. Specifically, the outer corner to me over here looks darker than this one. I did go back with the brush with this outer corner shade and tapped up here more because this side went up higher. And that's one of the hazards too for me doing one eye on and one eye off, is I lose the feel for where things are. But to me, this side just looks darker than this side. And I put the same colors in the same places, so I don't know what's going on. But I do think that eyeliner was a good choice, even though you don't really see much of it, because we didn't do a wing, because my corners are tearing. I did add more of the gel pencil liner just here on the inner corner, because it had wear it away from my tears. What I do like about this look, particularly this eye, because you see this grayish, and then you see matte purple, then you see the shimmer purple, the matte purple, and then you see that greenish, and then the blue. So I like how the spotlight is distinct. This one, you can still see it. You see all the different colors, but this eye to me is just darker, and I have no idea why. But I'm loving it. I'm digging it. This is what I would think is sort of like a grunge goth vibe, or a goth grunge vibe. Can I say it right? No, goth grunge vibe. I am thinking of putting that shiny shade on the tear duct, so let's just go ahead and do that real quick. And while I'm doing this, I'm thinking of topping the lip with something, and maybe with this shade here, which is TV Dinner, and that's what we're going to take for our inner corner. I was just looking to see what the eyes was looking like. So TV Dinner, this shiny shade here, and we're just going to put... Oh, damn. I didn't want this all the way down there. But it's down there. Okay. This shade I'm gonna have to tone that down. So yeah, this is a bright shade. I don't think I'll put this over a black base, which would be interesting. I'm going to go back with the brush that had that green, this shade here, and we're just going to just kind of just like wiggle that in just to tone that down some. I did not add more shadow to it. I am going to add more shadow to it just a little bit, just to tone this down a little bit, because that shade is super bright and it doesn't fit the aesthetic of the look, it being that silver shade. But like this, I think it fits because it adds that little greenish grunge element, I think. So this I like. It's not at all even, and it's teary right here. It feels wet. I can feel it. So yeah, we're going to take the flat brush, and I don't know if we want to put this on the lid because that's bright. You know what we're gonna do? Excuse me for being indecisive, because I'm thinking of, ooh, I'm liking your style from Notoriously Morbid. I'm also thinking of Lavendaring, because this turns like a purple. So let's use Lavendaring that Melina sent to me, and we're going to put this on. This one, it doesn't want to tap like other glosses tap, so you have to actually swipe. So we're gonna do this. I think even I did say I remember being purple. I forgot how purple it turns. Okay, let's get this all over. I like the one yesterday. What look was that? Because I did 2 looks yesterday, where I put a shimmer like just in the middle, and it was really beautiful. But this one, I didn't want to just put it just in the middle because it didn't look right to me. So that is that. This is this. The top look is still just looking black. Like this, don't look at my nose. Like this, you can see the pink on the top, the purple on the top lip. And here the top looks black. But we did put extra up there, so this is interesting. Let's put some more of that. Excuse me for taking up too much of your time, y'all. I'm just like, why is it not looking? I thought I put enough. This still looks the same unless I go like this. But if I just keep my lips regular. And I don't like to put too much gloss on top of the liquid lipstick, because then it breaks down the mateness of the liquid lipstick. So I'm going to have to go like this. But I like the look. This is what we have. I don't know yet if we're going to add another clip. In case we don't, as always, I do think we're going to add another clip. We're going to add another clip. Damn it, how long is this video? I'll decide. It's February 4th. We're going to start with Tillamook. We're going to chop up the video. I'm going to prime both eyes, and then I'm just going to edit out going back and forth, because I realized looking at the previous clips that was the quickest way to get through a clip. And so I do apologize that the last one was so long. So we're going to edit out priming the lids with the Fenty eyeshadow primer, and then we will come back and get started with the palette. This is what we're using, the newest BYOP. And we're going to we used the entire center row for the dupe against Pat McGrath. So for this look, we just have this row and this row to use. I'm sorry, we use this row for the Pat McGrath dupe. So we have this row and this one to use. We're going to use everything in the bottom row, and we're going to use everything in the top row except this one. So that will just leave Coven that we will still need to use, and these 2, Lime and Replica, to use. It is not Lime. Replica is a lime green. This is Idol. So it'll just be these 2 and that deeper green that we need to use to finish up using the brand new, what did I do with the blend up my primer brush? Yeah, so that'll be the only 3 we have left to use, and we will incorporate those somewhere. So we're going to prime the lid and come back and get started. We're going to take Firefly on the first portion of our lids. We're just going to press and pop that right here. We're going to take Noodle, this shade, on the end, And that's going to go next to this one. This is going to go on the center of the lid. We're going to take Great Barrier, and this is going to go on the outer portion of our lid. So this entire part over here. We're going to take Runic on the first half of our transition area. Well, this area right here. So it's sort of more so underneath our brow, since we have shadow in our transition area already, but we are crossing the line here. And we're going to take Remedy on the second portion, whatever you want to call this area right here. So just above where the blue is and where the purple meets. So that is where this shade is going. Excuse me for that. We're going to take a thick brush and you go into Mariana Trench, and we're going to press and wiggle this in, and this we're going to put on our lower lash line. We're going to take a short stubby pencil brush and go into Remnant, and we're going to place this up close to our lower lash line, as close as we can get. So just right up underneath. We're going to take the brush that we used for this shade here for the outer portion, well, for this up here, and we're not adding shadow to it, but we're going to just buff down here, and hopefully that'll fix where this side came down too far over here. I'm going to do something I didn't plan to do. We're going to go into this other one. We're going to take Idol, and we're going to put this just in our tear duct area, just right here. We're going to go back to the brush that had that, well, this shade on it, and we're just going to just do this right here, just to tone that down just a little bit. We're going to take Inglot number 79 on our upper lash line. For lashes, we're going to use the Fenty Hella Thick Mascara. Of course, we're going to do a black lip. I'm debating whether or not to type it with Idol, but I think that may make it look too bright, so I might just put a gloss on it. But when we come back, you'll see the finished look. This is our finished look. We did top MAC's Matte Retro Liquid Lip Color in Caviar with MAC's Frost Multi-Chrome Lipstick and on, and I think this is about to die, but this is our finished look. Let me know how you're liking 4 palettes, 4 look videos. I might switch to 3 just to get them a little bit shorter, excuse me, but I do miss chit-chatting with you. So this clip wasn't as enjoyable for me, but I do like the look. I'm loving how the shadows all blend together. Like here you can see 3 distinct different shadows, but then when you turn, look at that shift in how they blend. And even with the shades we put under our brow, like everything just goes so well together. I'm loving the under eye. I'm loving the lip, of course. Thank you for being here. Let me know your thoughts down below. As always, self-acceptance, self-love. That is the Crazy Troll Nation way. You will see me soon. Thank you.